We're entering EXPO 2010 in Shanghai with no line. Look at how empty it is because we're entering at 4 in the afternoon. We're at the EXPO 2010 in Shanghai. It's the biggest World's Fair ever created. Covers a huge land area. There are just hundreds of attractions here. So we're going to take a walk and show you this World's Fair. One of the nicest things about the fair is the incredible architecture. These amazing, whimsical structures are really a lot of fun to look at. These buildings are really futuristic. Here's some illustrations that are taken out of the official map to give you a quick preview. In our video, we're going to bring you into quite a few of these pavilions and at least show you the outside of them, such as Moldova, Liechtenstein. The smaller European countries are sharing some pavilions, such as Liechtenstein, one of the smallest countries in the world. Cyprus, island nation, has brought some of its archaeological treasures to show off, as well as looking into the future, which is the theme of EXPO, building great cities for the future. Concern for the environment and architecture and ecology and planning. More of this big pavilion that has the little countries, such as San Marino. They call themselves the smallest republic in the world. And you can see it looks like a beautiful country. It's just a hilltop town in Italy that's a sovereign nation, the size of Central Park. And apparently they put on some great pageants. These are the movies they're showing. Their ancestry is from Croatia, surprisingly enough. Moldova, another one of the small countries in Europe, population about 3 million, formerly part of the Soviet Union. And they had a very nice little wine bar tasting. Inexpensive to try the wines, not free of course, but only cost a few dollars for a good tasting of the wines. Quick shots of a few more of the pavilions. There's Slovenia. They put on quite a show with a beautifully lit up interior, showing off some of their old towns in these photographs on display. Of course, they want to lure you to come visit the country, and this looks very attractive. Slovenia. Hungary, on the other hand, the pavilion was very simple, very sparse and basic. This was it. There was some hanging timbers and this odd-looking sculpture in the middle. Prague had some reconstructions, photographs of their Charles Bridge and some elaborate multimedia displays. And then we have from the Czech Republic to Slovakia. Quick peek. And then there's Portugal. We had a look inside the Portugal pavilion. They were showing some large screen movies, which is typical of a lot of the country exhibits. They really rely upon the media, multimedia, big screen films, and it's kind of nice. Sit down on the floor for a while and have a look. The movies are running pretty much continuously. They fill you in on some of the history and scenery and the sightseeing, some quick glimpses of the people of the country. The main square in the heart of Lisbon, Portugal, with some sort of a fantastic drummer display, and they've got a little electric car. Maybe they're making them in Portugal. Here's some overviews of European and Asian section. We got Malaysia, we got Singapore, Australia, the Pacific, Czech Republic coming up, Belarus and Poland, all clustered into the southwest corner of the EXPO pavilion. Singapore was a big hit. Indonesia has a large display. Australia, the big countries have their own buildings that they constructed and designed themselves. You can get around the fairgrounds by buggy or by free shuttle bus or by walking. You really have to be in condition if you want to get the most out of this EXPO fair because it's huge. It covers an area about 2 miles wide. So you do a lot of walking here and a lot of standing and waiting online. Czech Republic has a whole bunch of hockey pucks on the outside of their building, showing the importance of that sport. And then there's Slovakia right next to them. And we've got Belarus. There's Bosnia. And Poland had a very popular exhibit. We had a chance to actually go inside the Polish exhibit. They had long lines during the day, but later in the evening you can get in there with just a minimal wait. And the first thing they're showing off is the beautiful ladies of Poland. They've won a lot of beauty contests. These East European gals can be extremely beautiful, tall, thin and blonde. And you walk further into the pavilion, there's yet more Polish displayed in the multimedia, and they've got the cities in slideshows inside some sort of a geodesic dome, and you keep walking through these different environments. Poland has really made an effort to put on a good show, including a bar. The Denmark pavilion is featuring the Little Mermaid, first time she's left the country. There's Finland with its capital of Helsinki. Serbia has a very colorful building. Monaco, there's a video greeting from the prince out front. And the Spain pavilion, onto the Germany pavilion, just showing you a few quick exteriors here. And then there's Great Britain. Now the UK has made a big hit with their exhibit, so we made an effort to walk in. And again, later in the evening, the line moved pretty quickly. About 9 o'clock, you can get in here with minimal wait, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And you walk inside this huge structure. It's really a plastic sculpture, a light sculpture. And that's all there is to the UK pavilion. It looks very odd from the outside and wonderful on the inside. It's these plastic rods with lights coming through them. And that's it. It symbolizes whatever you want it to. But people loved it, lined up for quite a while to get in there to experience this space. And it really is something different and unusual. Got to hand it to them for that. They won a lot of recognition, a lot of praise. The Netherlands exhibit on the outside is really flashy, full of lights and colors, and you walk in and you go up a spiral ramp. And then you find out that they've got these little shop fronts. There's an odd swinging time shop. And there's a little art gallery here with some Van Gogh artifacts. You get some nice views. There's looking out at Romania. They have a big apple for their architecture. And next to them is the Austria Pavilion, which was also very lovely on the inside. And they were featuring some classical music, very appropriate for the home of Mozart. We've got some beautiful music going on in the indoor pavilion here in the Austria building. Everybody can sit down on the floor and relax, listen for a while, and then move along outside again, passing the Croatia exhibit. And you see in the evening, the long lines really start moving. Much better to visit the fair at night. Norway is another very popular exhibit, as is Luxembourg, a very small country. There's Turkey, and Canada has a huge pavilion made out of wood, appropriate for a nation covered in trees. Lots of forests out there, and you walk inside and it is super modern, multimedia bombardment. Canada really did a fine job of creating some sculptural environment you walk into, and they had this little kind of a game. You get on your bicycle and pedal and generate some electricity, and that's what keeps the video going, and it's all part of the show of electric generation. And they had a beautiful slideshow, just about 10 minutes long. Then there's the American Pavilion. Never did get inside here, but it's kind of run by the corporations in America. Ireland has quite a nice exhibit. On the outside, looking very green like the country itself. And when you walk into the Irish Pavilion, it's a virtual walk down O'Connell Street, the main street of Dublin. And you see some interiors, the old Irish farmhouse. Some people still live like this today, probably, but most of them are more modern. Here's the 1950s, 1960s. You walk through the evolution of interior space right up to modern day. And then they had a really spectacular photo wall. This display was very popular, very compelling to see so many moving videos and still pictures and slideshows going on. You could easily stand in front of this for many minutes, but most people are walking by. Notice the Chinese, they really are the main visitors at the expo. Probably 90-95% of the visitors to the Shanghai Expo are Chinese. It's their great chance to see the world. They have not had much opportunity to travel outside of their country. They will soon. This is kind of a warm-up for them, a launching platform. The Shanghai Expo 2010. It's running through October, and it's really worthwhile. This was just a quick taste of some of the exhibits.